Howdy everyone. Welcome to Inside Russia. My name is Konstantin. I am live streaming from the very heart of southern Russia. Thank you for joining. Thanks for coming. Thank you for tuning in to listen to my message. Another daily stream, another update on what is happening in Mother Russia. As usual, my stream is divided into two parts. One is my message, and today is going to be a sad message. And the second part is I turn the comments, and I would like to hear your feedback and converse with you. Again, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for tuning in. Let's do it. Today is day number 100. Day number 100. 100 days ago, this whole thing, special, in Russia it's called Special Military Operation of Russia against Ukraine, started 100 days ago. Folks, this is hard to believe. I still remember the day like it happened yesterday. The day was tragic for me. The day was filled with sorrow, hard feelings, bad feelings, dark feelings, a cocktail of all kinds of feelings I do not wish anyone to go through their lives, even once. It was yesterday, and it was 100 days ago. Today is June 3rd. Today's day number 100. I would like to discuss the results. They're not final results due to this conflict between the two countries. It's not over, and it looks like it's far from over. So we can say these are intermediate results, not final results, but there must be results anyway. So let's find out what has Russia achieved as the result of conducting this military operation against Ukraine. Now, what I am about to tell you is my opinion. It's subjective like most times. It's how it is seen through my eyes. I don't possess the full information of military actions, diplomatical actions, I'm just saying how I see things from here, from sitting in a regular Russian home, watching regular Russian TV. Well, don't really watch, rarely watching Russian TV, watching official Russian news, things like that. I am just a small guy, small potatoes, And this is how the results of first 100 days are seen through my eyes. Okay, the results can be divided into a few parts, different parts. Part number one is, of course, military. Well, Russia is conducting military operation, has been conducting for the past 100 years. Must be the results, must be victories of this military operation. Otherwise, why conduct it, right? Second is economical results. Since Russia started conducting this military operation, there must have been pretty good goals to achieve economic victories, right? Let's find out what's happened. Third is psychological results. How is our society doing psychologically? How are people feeling? What emotions, what feelings do we have as a nation? Oh, I can't really speak for other people, but I can speak for myself, my family, and some people I see around me, my inner circle, so to speak. So, without further ado, let's jump into the military results. Let me remind you, 24th of February, everything started. Vladimir Putin addressed the nation. He addressed me. I'm a Russian. He addressed every Russian. He did a long speech, but basically saying, hey, we're liberators. We're gonna get rid of Nazism and we're gonna denazify Ukraine. We're gonna demilitarize Ukraine. It's way over Nazified and it's way over militarized. Or it's Nazified. So we're gonna denazify it. I had not heard this word before, denazification, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a small guy, okay? So the results, the goals were voiced loud and clear, and Russian army started denazifying, demilitarizing. Russian army, in the month of March, were trying to make attempts to overtake Ukrainian cities, city of Kharkov, city of Kiev. It achieved overtaking, it conquered occupied city of Kherson, Melitopol, and a few villages. Okay. The month of March, first 30 days, was pretty harsh in terms of fighting, conflict, deaths among soldiers on Russian side. Well, I can't really say anything about Ukrainian. I can only guess, okay? But Russian media has been saying that so many more Ukrainian soldiers were killed. I don't know. This is tragic to me. Ukrainians killed. So many more than the Russians killed. And this is also tragic to me. Why are soldiers got to be killed? Why Ukrainian soldiers got to be killed? Why civilians have got to be displaced and killed? Anyway, first month of March was heavy fighting and constant attempts to overtake. I don't know how to say it right. Occupy or conquer or I understand because demilitarization, denazification was taking place. How do you denazify the country? Obviously, there's only one way. You gotta change country's leadership because Nazification comes from top, right? Right? So to denazify, you have to do something to change leadership, and new leadership would be not Nazi. That's how you denazify. All of a sudden, at the end of March, Russian generals, not Vladimir Putin, he hasn't said much about the going of the military operation since day one, but Russian generals, one of the generals announced that Russia was withdrawing, lowering its military activity in the northern Ukraine. Huh? Basically, Russian troops were going back to Russia or towards Russia. This is when we had the first questions we started asking. What the hell? Why didn't we take Kiev? We denazify, right? No one was saying anything about denazification anymore. They just withdrew troops, and they stayed in the southern Ukraine, where a lot of military fighting was going on, especially in the city of Mariupol. Now, the real Nazis, the battalion called Azov, it was considered extremist and terrorist organization by the US Senate, nonetheless, okay? So those guys, hardcore Nazis, no questions asked here. They hold up inside of Azov metallurgical plant, and there was heavy fighting. So, but in the northern Ukraine, you see Russian troops withdrew and they went back to, I'm not really sure where they went back to. either to Russia or they withdrew to Donbas region. Then Vladimir Putin came out all of a sudden and said that the first stage of this operation was over, and the second stage number 2, was under execution. Stage number 2 is to help Donbas, to safeguard Donbas, to free Donbas, to make sure that Ukrainian forces stay off Donbas. And by Donbas, I understand that's not just the rebel, I don't know how you call these guys. Anyway, new government, the independent government on Donbas boundaries that they have settled for the past 8 years, but they wanted to push back towards the outer direction and take the entire province on Donbas, the parts that have been occupied by the Ukrainians, Ukrainian army has been placed there. Okay, so that was my understanding. Russian army started pushing, but as far as we understand, at this point, no major advances have been made. Fighting kind of goes on and off, and it's really hard for me to say because we are not getting much of information from anyone. Just local news. Oh, Russian army did that, Russian army did this. Everything is going according to the plan. In Russian society, there's a growing concern that, hey, something is not going around according to the plan. Or if it's going according to the plan was piece of crap, okay? That's what regular people think. We heard that on the street many times, like on different streets, in the stores, people talk and you go by and you overhear. And that was their main message, okay? Either something's not going according to the plan and they just cannot tell us what, or the plan was a little off in the first place, And now, 100 days later, we are at the point where Russian military occupies southern part of Ukraine, city and province of Kherson, and town of Melitopol. Now, as far as I understand, it occupies Mariupol. So if you look at the Ukrainian map, that's a stretch of the coast going from city of Taganrog towards Odessa. Now, strangely enough, no one is talking about denazification, demilitarization. Now, let's go back. Vladimir Putin himself promised us that the goals were to denazify, to demilitarize. Okay? Now, Battalion Azov eradicated and the remaining warriors were detained and in Russian custody. So, Mariupol is completely free of Nazis. Every single day, we heard that Russian military was victorious in striking different Ukrainian military targets. Airports, warehouses, things like that. So numerous strikes, numerous targets destroyed. On some days, the number of targets was as high as 80, okay? 100 days, let's say 10 targets a day, just to be safe. That's over 1,000 targets. It looks like Ukraine's been demilitarized. 1,000 targets have been hit. No Nazis in Mariupol. What the hell are we doing there then? Why are we not back yet? We've denazified and we've demilitarized. Perhaps our military leadership forgot what Vladimir Putin was telling us 100 days ago. That's very upsetting, Now, the thing that upsets me greatly is we have been kept in the dark about the fallen soldiers, Russian soldiers. I understand no one can tell us the real numbers of how many Ukrainians were killed. Soldiers and civilians, okay? How many people, Ukrainians, have been displaced and forced to flee the country and become refugees? I understand no one is capable of saying that. But I am pretty sure that Russian army is professional enough to keep track of the fallen soldiers, right? And if it doesn't keep track, then I'm sorry, but someone's gonna be tried for treason among Russian army's leadership, right? So I'm pretty sure they're doing a good job, and I'm pretty sure they know up to current minute how many soldiers and who were fallen, have been fallen. Somehow, they're not telling us. The last time they told us was 29th of March. And they told us twice. 12th of March, 29th of March. I find it very odd. The thing is, they will tell us. The truth will come on top. They will come out. They cannot hide this number forever. Okay? But then, if that number is going to be high, that's not going to be good. The results of military operation, I truly don't know what they are. There's been fighting going on. Russia tried to take over northern Ukraine, pulled back for some reasons, intentionally, unintentionally, I don't know. No one knows except for the Russian army itself, you know, the generals and the officers. But at this point, it doesn't seem like we're victorious. Vladimir Putin and Dmitry Peskov were told many times that we are not to seize parts of Ukraine, and yet there are talks from the administration, current administration. I'll be absolutely fair. That administration is Ukrainian. You know, it's controlled by Russian army areas, but that consists of Ukrainians. And those are not Ukrainians came from Russia. Those are Ukrainians that had lived there before, even before, you know, Russian military came. So, and those Ukrainians have been saying, hey, Kherson province, Mariupol province, they want to become part of Russia. They want to join Russia. They have gone so far to start circulating Russian ruble and replace hryvnia with Russian ruble. But I'll be fair with you, okay? The Kremlin, Vladimir Putin, Peskov, haven't said anything about that. Okay, those people, the Ukrainians, they're making allegations they want to join Russia. The Russian official word, none. Perhaps the Russians, you know, the rulers, the president and his deputies, perhaps they don't plan on taking those provinces, making them parts of Russia. We'll see. Anyway, it's only been 100 days, right? That's the military results. Now, what are the economic results? Well, it gets more complicated. You thought military was difficult? No, that was easy. Because for one simple reason. We were told by Vladimir Putin, by politicians, we were told what was the, what was the goals of military operation. Denazification, demilitarization. Loud and clear, very transparent. Okay, I got it. They didn't tell us how many Nazis there were in Ukraine, who the Nazis were, what characteristics, parameters of the Nazis. But I can understand that. What they haven't said is what Russia to gain economically from this special military operation. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. They didn't say anything. And I don't believe there was a plan, a goal to achieve something. And Well, now let's find out what's been achieved in terms of economy. Most of Western companies have left Russia. They've fired all personnel, they have taken out technologies, and they have broken the supply chains. It's unbelievable, actually. It's very unbelievable, but it's true. This is what's happened. Russian economy. Russia has become an island. Russian economy has been cut off from the world's economy. Russian banking systems, most Russian banks, big banks, have been cut off SWIFT. Russian national debt has been placed upon under sanctions. Russian currency golden reserves, half of them have been arrested abroad. Russia has lost half of its fortune, like treasure, you know, currency and gold reserves. Half. It's unbelievable. Most companies have forbade Russians to use their services and technologies, software, financial tools, you name it. Private people, just regular people, and companies have been limited in what they can use now. Russian airlines turns out to be that all of their airplanes were made by Boeing or Airbus. They have grounded all the planes because once a Boeing or Airbus flies out of Russia and lands in a foreign country, the plane is going to be repossessed by the leasing company. And a case like this is happening in Sri Lanka right now. Okay, Aeroflot sent a plane to Sri Lanka after Sri Lankan officials promising they wouldn't do that. As soon as the plane landed, tadeish, they've seized the plane. So I guess someone at Aeroflot is very upset. But that's the result of isolation of Russia. All in all, Russia have become a completely isolated economy. And every day that goes by, Russian economy reminds North Korea more and more, Cuba perhaps Iran. No, it's worse than Iran because Russia is the most sanctioned country in the world. Over 10,000 sanctions of all kinds of magnitudes, from a tiny ones. For example, the Russian owners of cats cannot enter international cat competitions, right? To the huge level ones, such as seizing Russian currency golden reserves, So it's not good. Russian economy, the ruble has been stabilized only after interference of Russian government. It's artificially kept, the currency exchange artificially is kept low, and we're all anxiously waiting for, that artificialness to be lifted, and what happens when Russian ruble and American dollar will be traded again freely. Okay. Some people say, Joe Biden said it's going to be around, or the expectations were it would be around $1 would go for 200 rubles. There's black market for exchange of American dollars to rubles. Currently, in between 90 rubles and 100 rubles, people give for $1. Official currency exchange is around 60 rubles. Russia has been shot on both feet economically because most of Russian industries are imploding. The only industry I know that is doing well is agriculture. Because prices for, soft commodities, they have gone up tremendously. Every single other industry is down. And I'm not talking about the government related industries, I'm talking about like free market. Our industry, the industry I work in, construction of energy facilities, is falling apart because we have long-term, long projects with long return on investment periods, and all our projects are financed by large banks or conglomerates of banks. No more. Most of projects in Russia have been frozen. And it's not just our company, it's all our partners and competitors. Manufacturing imploding because it relied on Western semiconductors, of Western spare parts, of Western parts. No more. Companies like Kamaz, Lada, I don't know what they're gonna do. They have to come up with 100% Russian parts, and it's gonna take years. Most companies have stopped trading with Russia. Large shipping companies like Maersk, they have been refusing to serve Russian customers. Logistics have been greatly damaged. Okay, it's driving global recession, and the recession starts with Russia. Okay, but it's not gonna stop with Russia. It's gonna go all over the world. But Russia is in the epicenter. You know, I'm telling you how what has happened in Russian economy in 100 days. But you know what? I haven't even scratched the surface. I'm not telling about how many people have lost their jobs. I'm not telling you how many people are to lose their jobs within 3 months. I'm not telling you how many personal tragedies in business, how many industries having tremendously hard times, how many new laws introduced, how pressure on business have increased. And to tell you all of that, probably I would need a few hours, okay? And I'm trying to make my message pretty compact. But to sum it up, I don't quite understand what they had thought before they started this military operation. It appears that they were caught unprepared, okay? And how can you not be prepared for disaster of this magnitude if you know what you're doing? If you start one thing, you gotta know that there will be consequences, and you're gonna prepare for them. Completely caught off guard. I don't understand. I can see the disaster happening in the Russian economy, but I don't understand what they wanted to achieve. They thought that Russia would just do business normal, as business as usual with the rest of the world. My question is what the experts are getting paid for, if it's the case. Anyway, to sum it up, economically, Russia is going through a disaster, and it's just the beginning. In a few months, time will tell, but I think it's going to get worse in a few months. And that worse is, I'm trying to put it very mildly, softly. And, result number 3 is how people feel. Not going to talk much about this. A lot of people feel absolutely terrible. Our society has been split in two parts. One part supports military operation, another part doesn't. My estimation goes along with the Russian government's estimation. I repeat, Dmitry Peskov, I think he was right. 75% also support, 25% don't. Okay? It means that there are so many people with different opinions. Cancel culture has been introduced. These days, people more and more forced to make a choice. Who are you with? us or them. But let me tell you something. Even people who support, they start asking questions. They perhaps don't voice them openly, but what has happened raises many, many questions. And we simply need answers for those questions. That's it. And if our government is smart, it it'll start to address some of the questions soon, at least some of them. You know, because if they don't, it's gonna get worse. That's all. A lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are uncertain about the future. All are uncertain because all are scared to lose their jobs. People who have credits, they're terrified. Some already have lost jobs. All kinds of bad numbers coming out. Defaults. I think I recently heard the number that 5% of all Russian the people with credit, they have asked banks to somehow soften up, give them we call it debt vacation, so they wouldn't have to pay debt backs, like a pause in pay back for about 6 months and stuff like that. That's 7 million people. That's a lot. Okay, people are drinking more. From it's not official, but I see around me because, well, I guess they just want to cope with the situation that's going on. They still watch lots of Russian TV. They still being regular people, but the mood is down, depressing. There's not much to be happy about. There's no much joy. Even hardcore believers, they think we're surrounded by the enemies. NATO is expanding towards Finland and Sweden now, and it's not good, and it's pretty bad. Okay. Yeah, did I mention that NATO is going to be expanded by two countries, Finland and Sweden, and it means that the border of Russian Federation with NATO countries is going to be increased by about 1,500 kilometers. That's just grand, ain't it? Good planning, Was that a part of the plan? People are suffering. People are getting hit with high prices. The prices have increased by a huge deal. People have been hit by uncertainty. People have been hit by unemployment, rising unemployment. People have been hit by car exchange, this uncertainty with ruble. And right here, it's taking toll, not just on me, but on all Russians. And overall mood, not so great. And you know what? That's not going to be good in the long run. Because people, they can only wait until so much. They're like vessels, okay? Vessel is getting filled with bad emotions, filled, and then it spills out. I hope we start getting the answers and reassurance from our government. Not just the words, but the real actions that show, hey, everything's gonna be alright. There'll be the end to this military operation, because so far the officials saying we're not in a hurry to stop it. Well, I am. I am the taxpayer, and I'm a voter, and I'm in a hurry to stop that. Okay? But I guess they don't really care. Anyway, to sum it up again, military results I've told you about, absolutely not certain. And it doesn't appear to be that someone is certain about the military, like anyone is certain about the military results. Certainly not sharing with us. Second, economically, it's the biggest, most devastating crisis Russia has seen in, I don't know, in the past 100 years, I think. That's how bad this thing is. And Russia has shot itself in both feet, both hands, both elbows, and knees. I haven't seen anything like that before. And people are suffering. A lot of people started suffering on the 24th, and some are still suffering. well, they started suffering recently. More questions, more people don't understand what's going on, more people ask questions, more the angrier they get, okay? Not necessarily they take their anger, aggression out, but you know what? That anger and aggression is gonna burn them from within. And this is majorly not good. So that's how I see the results of the first 100 days. Perhaps I'm wrong, perhaps everything's fine. You know, perhaps Russia is getting up from its knees. Perhaps ruble is the best performing currency in the world right now. Perhaps, you know, Russian strength is growing. Please tell me. Give me facts. Explain me what is happening. Because so far, what I'm seeing, I've described here. And what I'm seeing is majorly not good. My friends, this has been my message. I hope you find it valuable. Please keep this chat clean. I'm going to turn on the comments. And, you know, let me know what you think. Moderators are here. Thank you so much. Lorna, Mommy, Robert, Harry is back, Bob S., Yarn Prepper, and Pinball himself of Pinball Preparedness. Well, Pinball is a busy guy. He comes once in a while, you know, when he's not busy with his channel, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way. I still go and listen to everything Pinball has to say. Well, not everything, like 80%, because I... no time, I'm sorry. But mods, if you could put the link to Pinball's channel, I would really appreciate it. Chat's on. Thank you. Let's keep this clean. Let's keep this great. Let's keep this... I was gonna say fun, but this is not fun. How can we keep this fun, you know? Mommy and Lorna, look at them. Fantastic mods. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming back here every single day. I do streams every day, but you know what? You also do streams every day. Usual suspects are here. Reese, I see Reese Gray for the third time today in the third chat, because I had two chats for patrons only, for sponsors only. This is my way of saying thank you to the people who support financially by becoming patrons of Patreon and becoming sponsors of YouTube sponsorship program. Thank you so much. So I feel like I owe them like some extra efforts, and then one of the extra efforts is I do specifically for them private streams. So if you want to participate in one of those, welcome to Patreon or the sponsorship program. Reese Gray, thank you so much. Reese, again, hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. I'm seriously disappointed we didn't start the stream with Angel. Oh my gosh. That was a funny incident in one of the streams today. If you weren't part of the channel members exclusive team this morning, you missed out. Now, I'm not gonna repeat that. This is just... I was goofing off. Airborne Snail, great message today. Hi from Sweden, and have a good day. Have a good weekend all. Have a good weekend all. And all, if you want me to notice your message, please put it in caps. Susan, Dirk, Ramakers, everyone, hello, hello, hello. So what do you think? What do you think about 100-day results of this thing? Geeky Carlos, hello from Liverpool. Got your message crystal clear, and I understand one. Thank you. IKDA, hi from Germany. Good summary. It also brought some Russians, new friends, and some even new worldwide special friends. Greetings from Finland. You mentioned Hanhikivi in one of your earlier streams. I'm curious, have you ever visited Finland? Well, I have visited Finland personally, but that has nothing to do with Hanhikivi. Hanhikivi is one of the projects that our company was involved in. Not me personally, but my company. We had a group of engineers working on the project, doing one part, and we are very proud of being part of that project, of having that reference, business reference, because that's a showcase project, or it was. I think it's stopped now. So yes, I was involved in Hanhikivi indirectly, but I visited Finland myself, not on business trips, but just as a person. Fiona, hello again. We had a wonderful conversation with Fiona. Ludmila, level 70 per. Sandra, Atenius, Susan, Joni Nyman, Lawrence. Lawrence, thanks for signing up for Patreon. G Money, thank you for your perspective. Good to understand Russian perspective. My perspective is not necessarily Russian perspective. That's that's unique, that's subjective. I could be mistaken. Don't quote me with the Russian government or whatever. This is not official Russian perspective. If you want official, go watch Russian TV. This is my personal. And like I said, I might not have full information. Andy Cordoba, hello from Philippines. Suri, Germany, Flensburg. Davenport, Florida. Maria Aron, Southern California. AAA. Geir Nicolison. Maribel, 100 days. I know. Unbelievable. Lorna, I gotta notice this thing. I gotta, some things I'm gonna be putting down. So my notebook is always with me because I find something interesting. If I make a mental note, I'll forget. There's so much going on now, Oh, this stream is going fast. Tadas from Lithuania. Terry the Terrible. I don't know how you get to sleep after this. Don't really understand what you mean. I've generally slept pretty bad for the past 100 days. I don't think I'm gonna sleep more or less, or better or worse, New sponsor, Robert Carr. Welcome to Inside Russia. Thank you, Robert, for joining. Thank you for showing us around Rostov earlier today. I did not show you around Rostov earlier today, just around my cabinet in a 3-minute mistaken stream. Pressed the wrong button. I was gonna start my main stream, G Money, my grandfather from Minsk. He said I send a letter to tell the truth. I write in black. When I write in red, it's the opposite. Well, G Money, it hasn't gotten that far, that bad yet. Okay, we're not there yet. It's not a concentration camp yet. Hopefully, it will not get there. Hello from South Africa. Another sponsor, BL Pirog. Welcome to Inside Russia. Delphis, greetings from Lithuania. We have quite a few Lithuanians. Is this your office? Asking Kevin. No, it's my house, my room that I call office, but that's not the office, $10 from Luke King. Luke, welcome back. Luke was in both streams because he's both patron and sponsor. Let's say the operation stops tomorrow. Do you think relations would normalize with the West quickly after that? Luke, no way. No freaking way. I mean, one has to be absolutely delusional to think that. How can you undo people who are dead? How can you bring them back from dead? Okay? How can you bring the houses, the apartments, the households that are destroyed? How can you make people forget about that? How? No way. If it stops tomorrow, in terms of economy, I don't think anything is going to change. Okay, you think that all the Western companies will come back? Yeah, right. Show me. No, look. It's going to take, my estimation, decades to normalize, or perhaps even generations. St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, Terry. David Bonos. Hi from a Brazilian at Down Under. Ariana, St. Michael. When you call him in during the prayers, I feel him coming through strongly. I'm gonna call for him today. We need St. Michael. Archangel Mikhail. I'm gonna be calling for him. Spain. Thanks for the insight. I missed a super chat. Stat musician. Thank you, Constantine, for your excellent summary of events. Oh, my pleasure. If you could say that, if I can say that. Remember that Russia and her neighboring country are consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. God will triumph. I am praying and asking God to triumph faster. Every single day, I ask you to join in my prayers. Yes, you're absolutely right. The more crazier this situation is, these two countries that are so tight together, you know. DEFCON 0, hello from Texas. 100, what about time? 10 minutes. 100 Steve B. Do you think support would be 75% if Russia still had independent news stations? It doesn't matter what I think. The thing is, support today is what it is today. And if things were different, probably support would have been different, or it would have been the same. I don't know. I think we can all read between the lines, and that's a rhetorical question that does not need the answer. The first message is the real race of Inside Russia streams. Didn't get that. Michelodian surname. One achievement is knowledge. Russians are aware that other nations are not as disinterested or weak as suspected. That might sound bad, but it's good information. Much better to be aware than not. Well, it's hard not to agree with you. Tilambus from Düsseldorf, hello. Mod's gonna work it today. Geeky Carly's, once the fog settles and the numbers come in. Thank you, Ivan Zlatar. How quickly relations normalize will depend greatly on when and how this conflict ends. And I absolutely agree with you. I agree with you. It's just, I think it's a given. They're not gonna normalize overnight. Okay, it might take longer or shorter, but it's gonna take a significant amount of time. Of course, I would be absolutely uh, thrilled if I was mistaken. If I was to wake up one day and everything would be back to normal, you know. Lorna, what a great message. And I think it's worth to be pinned on. Samsa Soman, you bring sanity from Russia. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. Zachary Riley, thank you so much. Atanias, thank you. Thank you for your message. Faith, Spain, hello. Stephen Lindholm, the only good thing to come from this is that more people have found this. Yeah, that's true. I wish no one found this channel. I wish I didn't have the reasons to be found. I wish I was still at 5,000 subscribers doing streams, nice walking tours of whatever, you know, with Lorna, mommy on the side, and we'll just be having fantastic, nice time. You know, I'd rather have that, my friend. Marilyn, hi there. Florida, and it's hot there, from Sandra. Douglas from Southern California, hello from Austria. You know, when I go through this comments and I read that people from all over the world are participating right now, that's pretty cool. Don't you find? I think that's awesome. Level 70, $7. Do you think Russia may run out of food due to sanctions? I hope not. No. Russia, my friend, Russia will not run out of food. It's actually, you know what? That's a fantastic. I keep getting asked this question. That's a good question for a stream. Food. Russia is not going to run out of food. My uncle is a big time farmer. He told me a few days ago that the weather's been perfect and this year is going to be one of the most, like the biggest records in the recent history for wheat and for other soft commodities. So Russia is the breadbasket of the world, basically. You know, the region where I am right now. Krasnodar, Rostov, Stavropol, and also Ukraine. Kind of like we're right next to one another. You know what I mean? And Stavropol, Krasnodar, Rostov, and it goes into Ukraine, around Kherson, Mariupol, Melitopol, all that part of Ukraine is also agricultural. So combined, Russia and Ukraine are basically were feeding the rest of the world. I think Canada and Australia are also very big in wheat, but Russia's nothing's gonna happen to our, we're gonna have plenty of food. Jua Honkanen, I totally agree with you. It's too much. Frank Wolf, why 70% of Russians support this operation? I'm making a video about that. Tune in to find the answer. It's not a topic for a stream. It's too complicated. It's too you gotta dive deep into this, you know. Luke, how do you plan for the future when the future is uncertain? In our business, we take it week by week. We don't plan anymore. In Russia, people don't plan anymore. Taking it day by day, week by week. Week is the like longest in Russia. We call it how far you can see planning, horizon for planning, right? So it used to be years. Now it's shrunk to 1 week. That's it. Because we just don't know what's going to happen next week. Ivan Zlatar, hard to understand why politicians forget the human element and the reality that are more like alike than different, and we're all seeking the same for ourselves and for our families. Very good message, Ivan. Thank you. I don't know why they forget that. Happy weekend to you and your family. Russian Papa Bear. That me, Russian Papa Bear. I like that. Thank you. Uh, Mods are very busy. Thank you so much. James Rhodes, thanks for pitching in. Subscribers are up 6K in 6 days. Yes, incredible, incredible. Thank you all for the support. David, hello from Australia. Oh, lost. Inside Russia, check the time. Woohoo, 2 minutes left. Firefly, Constantine, you Instagram. Instagram is considered a terrorist organization these days. I haven't posted anything since the time of Uzbekistan. I don't know whether I should go back to Instagram or not. Terry Gardner, I refer to you as my friend in Russia. Thank you. Level 70. I don't remember if I read the message or not. We're all neighbors for sure. Miss old Russia. Me too. Me too. James, thank you. Do you know any Russian families that paid highest value in recent events? This question is legitimate, but it's toxic to answer. I will not answer that. Out of respect for the families and just for my own safety. But that's okay. Mods, don't that's that's a legitimate question. Moy NYP, hope next 100 days will be less painful. I hope that everything will be over and done and the peace will be achieved in the next 100 days. Okay, Friday. I would like to end the stream, but before I am asking you all to join me in prayer. If you're a believer, please do. If you're a non-believer, in my eyes, you are due to one simple thing. You are a living person, therefore you have heart that is beating, therefore there is love in your heart. Some people have more, some people have less, but I've yet to see one single person without love. We all do love someone. And God, in my eyes, is love. And if you have love in your heart, then you have God in your heart. And if you don't believe in God, well, it's not really that important. The most important thing is that He believes in you and then He lives in you. So please join me. If you don't want to call it a prayer, just send good vibes and good wishes to people all over the world. To Ukraine, to Russia, and all over the world. Thank you so much. Dear God, thank you for giving us a wonderful day. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for giving us roofs over our heads. And thank you for surrounding with the loved ones. Thank you. Please help stop bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch heads and hearts of people who make decisions whether to continue or to stop. Please fill their hearts with love, compassion, mercy. Soften their hearts. Open their eyes. Give them sense, common sense. Give them wisdom. Please make them stop this conflict as soon as possible. Please send help to Ukraine, to every single person who's been affected, who's been displaced from their house, home, who's been affected by this conflict. Just everyone, please send angels to keep everyone out of harm's way. Please send your strongest angels that are led by Saint Michael, so they get rid of army of demons that have hijacked my country. Have the angels led by Saint Michael run my country again and make it righteous, make it good neighbor, make it a good part of international community. Please, we need help of the angels and Saint Michael. We need your help. Please help affected throughout the world. Not just people in Ukraine have been affected, but throughout the world. And whoever has been affected by this unfortunate event, please help them. Reach out to them and touch their hearts and heads. Answer people's prayers and grant their wishes. Please give us wisdom to raise our kids the way that when they grow up into adults, they will make this place a better place, this world a better world. They will not fight with one another, but be friends with one another. Please give us wisdom. Dear God, please help everyone who needs help. There's so much suffering in this world. Just give us more love and more joy and more happiness, Please help everyone who's praying in the stream right now, along with me, or watching us pray. Grant their wishes, answer their prayers, please. I have a few people who ask me to mention their names when we pray. And this is what I'm going to do that. I'm asking for every single person who I'm going to mention because they need your help. They ask to, so we pray for them. Answer their prayers and grant their wishes, please. And they are Shay, Rafaela, Anna, William, Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Rebecca, Melissa, Buzz, Anne Mary, Jean Paul, Paula, Jane, Michael, Marlene, Mikhail's family, Dimitrius, Kieran, Madi, Shane, Narnian Lady, Sebastian, Maverick, Maverick's mom, Susan, Fiona, Brantley, Susan S., Sabrina, Moby 1, Skipper 09, Stephen Lindholm, and Alan Townsend. Madeline, Chirper, thank you so much, God. Thank you for helping them. Thank you for reaching out to them and answering their prayers. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. Amen. My friends, thank you so much for coming. There will be a stream tomorrow, a little bit earlier than usual because this is Saturday. It's going to be 2-hour walk around Rostov. We're going to pick a good place with Natasha and, hopefully you will like it. Hopefully you will find it interesting. We're waiting for you tomorrow to join us, and thanks for today. It was a good stream. I hope you found my message interesting and helpful. Thank you so much. You are all awesome and you rock. And I'll see you tomorrow. Gonna finish this up now. It's unfortunately have to stand up, walk around my table, get behind my telephone and actually press the end button.